Anyway, going back to you, what were the life lessons or things you've learned in your career that you would like to share to aspiring actors or emerging actors like you?
Yeah, 90% of your job is waiting. It's a lot of waiting, a lot of work without recognition, a lot of work without pay at first. It's a lot of work, especially if you don't know people in the industry, because this industry is very famous for nepotism and favoritism. So it's really hard for people who aren't connected to break through and get, themselves out there. But, if you can take anything from my story is that I didn't have any connections. We rarely had any money. We were the last family in the world that should have been putting their kid into acting. But I had a dream, and my parents sacrificed a lot so that they could get me there. And I put in a lot of work. As a kid, I sacrificed a lot of life experiences, a lot of extracurricular activities, a lot of friendships in middle school, high school, because I wanted to be a part of this industry. So if you are a young, aspiring actor out there, I think that's amazing. I'm so happy that this is your dream. But you need to know there's a lot of work you got to put into it. And if it's something that you're really passionate about, you'll do it happily. But just know that, some people, make it big really fast. But for people like us, it takes some time. So just be patient, keep putting in the work, keep, practicing your craft, keep making connections, keep networking, just put in the work. And then eventually you'll see like the seeds you planted 4 or 5 years ago are finally starting to bloom. Like, for example, Love Victor. I was really blessed that they were interested in me for season two, but I might not have gotten an audition for season two if I hadn't auditioned in season one and done such a good job at that audition. It's a lot of work that you put into that you don't realize,
Yeah.
but will have an effect on you later on in your career. People remember, if you do a good job. You might not book the job right away, but if you do a good job, casting will like you and remember you and think about you for something that you might be better suited for. So don't be discouraged when you don't get a job, when you don't get a call back or whatever. As long as you do a good job, the casting director says that was a great job, take that as a win and just move on to the next. 90% of your job's waiting. That's all it is. And then when you get that 10% of finally making it or making some money or doing whatever job it is, you'll be so much more grateful for it because of the amount of work that you had to put in to get there. That's my advice for any young actors out there.
It's great advice.
Very well said. You just summarized the whole journey of an aspiring artist in Hollywood.
Pretty much it.
Amazing.
I've been doing those 5, and I've just recently started to see, the fruits of my labor in my adulthood. Like, it takes some time. It takes some time, but it makes it so much more worth it. I see a lot of actors who, just fall into it or are given a part in something and they shoot to stardom and they don't know how to handle it and they don't appreciate it. And that's unfortunate to me because this industry is so magical. It's so exciting and it's so awesome. But people don't see it because they think it comes too easy. So when you put in the work and you really do take time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears into putting something together, making something, whatever, whether it be a tape, an audition, or a short film that you make, have it done. Once you finally get to where you want to be in your next goal, you're able to take that and really appreciate it for what it is more so than if it was just handed to you. And that's why I'm really grateful that I didn't like shoot to stardom really fast or like become super famous. Like I love that. It was a slow burn and I love that so much because I learned a lot during that time. So don't be discouraged if it takes too long. It takes forever for some people. I worked with an actress when I was 9 years old on this film called The Space Between. Her name was Melissa Leo. She had been acting for decades, and decades, and didn't receive her first award or nomination until she was in her 50s.
Yeah.
And that is really that is the story of an actor. It's just you wait until finally, you're given that chance. And I feel like there's room for everyone in this industry. There's so much content being put out. There's so much representation now, and it's only going to get exponentially bigger. So if you have a dream, follow it, but know that it takes a lot of hard work and time. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Perfect answer right there.
That's true. It's all about the journey after all.
Absolutely. 1000%. I'm so much more grateful for
Yeah.
the experiences and journeys and amounts of rejection and lessons that I've learned in the past 16 years of my career. So much more grateful for that than any job that I've ever had. Seriously.